Good evening and welcome to Sunset News. I am Glenora Shipura, bringing you news, community stories, weather, economic news, and much more on this Wednesday evening. Getting into the news tonight, the mobile telecommunications company MTC has announced a grace period for suspended SIM card holders from the 1st of April to the 1st of July. According to MTC, 1,613,893 of its SIM card subscribers were registered by the March 31st mandatory deadline, accounting for 83.3% registration rate. Now, unregistered customers now stand at 323,236. MTC's Chief Human Capital Corporate Affairs and Marketing Officer Tim Ekanjo noted that as per the authority's directive, the registration process ended on the 31st of March following the extension from the initial deadline of the 31st of December 2023. It now means that the unregistered customers will unfortunately be suspended from the network. The suspension, however, does not mean that their numbers will be deactivated. Suspension simply means that a suspended number will not be able to utilize any services for the interim period until one complies with the SIM registration process. This process is to last for 90 days effective the 1st of April until the 1st of July 2024 or as otherwise decided for by authority. The period of the 1st of April until the 1st of July 2024 is referred to as the grace period. Should the grace period lapse and with no action having been taken by a SIM owner, the number will be deactivated/deleted from the network permanently, he said. Ekanjo added that the unregistered customers contribute approximately 3.1% of revenue, translating to an average of $8.1 million revenue per month. Despite our best efforts, we have encountered challenges in finalizing the registration process for all customers, as previously communicated to the authority, such as the geographical vastness of our country, amongst other socio-economic conditions, which made it impossible for some members of the public to register on time, he said. In our next story, the Association of Commercial Banks said in a recent presentation to Parliament that only 0.001% of homes on which a bank granted a mortgage were sold due to default last year. Specifically in 2023, 71 houses were sold out of 277 that were advertised as for sale. At almost $86 million collected from the house sales, commercial banks in Namibia have home loans worth about $50 billion on their books, according to BAN. The presentation was made in response to a motion in Parliament brought by Member of Parliament Biko Nekundi last year in connection with overcharging, profiteering and discrimination among banking institutions. BAN's figures show that the 71 bank clients whose houses have been sold are only 0.001% of 68,414 clients, and that the 277 houses advertised only touch 0.004% of all clients. The association points out that houses are only sold under court order. Loans are funded with deposits that banks must protect, and delinquent home loan payments could lead to bank failures, they insist. A failed banking system will lead to economic collapse, according to the banks. BAN member banks handle deposits worth $140 billion. According to BAN, the size of commercial banks in Namibia, measured in Namibian dollar terms, is more than $170.2 billion, while market capitalization is already more than $20.2 billion Namibian dollars. There are 216 bank branches and agencies nationwide, around 1,300 automatic teller machines, and 20,669 point-of-sale devices to provide services to 1,693,198 clients by the end of 2023. Only 181,208 of commercial banks' clients use the basic bank accounts for which the services are not paid. Basic bank accounts are limited to clients who earn less than $2,000 a month. Banks employ 6,038 employees, of which 89% can be classified as previously disadvantaged, according to BAN. 3,808 bank workers are women compared to 2,230 men. The average wage bill for the 5 banks as a whole is $1.8 billion Namibian, while taxes for employees average 500 million Namibian dollars. Getting into our next story, Namibia is set to host the inaugural Global African Hydrogen Summit in Windhoek from the 3rd to the 5th of September this year. That is to take place under the theme From Ambition to Action, Fueling Africa's Green Industrial Revolution, marks a significant moment in Africa's energy evolution. In a media statement issued on Wednesday by the Namibia Investment and Promotion and Development Board, it was stated that the GAH2S aims to spotlight Africa's strategic role in the global hydrogen market and facilitate crucial dialogue across policy, investment, and the burgeoning hydrogen value chain. It was also highlighted that following its initial announcement at COP28 UAE in December 2023, anticipation has been steadily mounting. An official international media conference is scheduled for the 18th of April 2024 in Windhoek and will be led by key figures, including Minister of Mines and Energy Tom Alwindo, Green Hydrogen Commissioner James Nupé, and CEO of the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, Nangula Wanja, alongside representatives from co-conveners DMG Events and Vasco da Gama Energy. This conference promises to set the tone for the transformative discussions to come. The Ministry of Basic Education has earmarked a total of $40 million Namibian for the procurement of textbooks for learners in an effort to reach the target of the one book, one child ratio, and has also increased the universal education grant from $200 million to $300 million per child in primary and from $300 million to $400 million for secondary learners. Anna Ngipondoka, in her budget speech delivered in Parliament, added that the education grant for learners with special needs will be 5 times these amounts and stated that this money will be paid directly to the schools from the government. In addition, the ministry has set aside $14 million Namibian for equipment for the pre-vocational training in schools and $10 million Namibian for the upskilling of teachers and the capacity building of technical teachers. The ministry also stated that they will begin with the construction of classrooms in several regions in the country, as well as to roll out information and technology communication in schools, and 42 computer laboratories will be equipped with computer servers and Wi-Fi at selected 3 schools per region. The need for a solid ICT governance framework in education is vital. Hence, the ministry is hard at work to finalize its ICT policy. Now, once finalized, this should serve as a bedrock for the transformation of education, she said. The ministry has also set aside an amount of $3 million Namibian to procure computers and technological devices for the use in libraries to improve the quality and access to resources in libraries in an effort to boost the reading culture in Namibia. Moving over to economic news, the Langer Heinrich mine on Saturday achieved uranium concentrate production and drumming. After the break, we delve into what this means for the mine. The Langer Heinrich mine on Saturday achieved uranium concentrate production and drumming, majority shareholder Palladian Energy announced this week. Focus will now shift to production ramp-up and building a finished product inventory ahead of shipments to customers, Paladin said. Achieving first production at the Langer Heinrich mine after 6 years of care and maintenance is an important milestone for Paladin. I would like to thank all our staff and contractors for their hard work and dedication in returning this globally significant uranium mine to production, Paladin CEO Ian Purdy said. Now, Purdy also thanked the government and the local communities in the Erongo region for their continued support with the return to production, a strong balance sheet and supportive uranium fundamentals. Paladin is exceptionally well positioned to generate sustainable returns for all our stakeholders, Purdy added. The company will provide guidance for key operational parameters for Langer Heinrich in Paladin's 2025 financial year in July. As part of the transition to production, Paladin's Chief Operating Officer, Paul Hamborough, will assume responsibility for all Langer Heinrich activities. Next up is our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.57, against the euro at 20.25, against the US dollar at 18.79, 2 Namibian dollars and 59 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold went down at 0.27%, while platinum, copper and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.39%, going for $90 per barrel. After the break, we take a look at our story of the day.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Botswana's President Mokgweetsi Masisi has threatened to give Germany 20,000 elephants after Germany's Environment Minister Steffi Lemke expressed governmental intentions to place stricter restrictions on or even ban the importing of hunting trophies. This has consequently led to protests and a rather unusual threat from Botswana's government, as it would promote poverty and poaching in the elephant-prone region. Masisi told German media that his country boasts the highest number of elephants in Africa, with numbers edging close to 130,000 elephants, thanks to successful conservation efforts. However, due to overpopulation, the country has already sent 8,000 elephants to neighboring Angola, with Mozambique yet to collect its quota. That is exactly how we would like to offer such a gift to the Federal Republic of Germany. We won't take no for an answer, Masisi said. In Botswana, elephants attack and trample people to death, destroying crops and leaving villages devastated. Hunting is an important and sustainable means of regulating the population, which will be hampered by Lemke's intentions. As it stands, Botswana makes 40% of its land available for its wildlife. It is very easy to sit in Berlin and have an opinion on our affairs in Botswana. We want our elephants to roam freely. The German weather is bad enough for them. If you like them so much, then please accept this gift from us. He went on to add that Germans should live together with animals in the way they are trying to tell us about, referring to a life without hunting. Meanwhile, international animal groups such as People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals have expressed their support for Lemke's decision and have called trophy hunting a hobby of rich, jaded people who have money more than morals. In an effort to get Lemke to back down from placing stricter restrictions or banning trophy hunting, Masisi extended an invitation for her to take a look at wildlife conservation on site. After the break, we take a look at our international news. Getting into our international news, starting off in Kenya, Kenyan public hospital doctors who have been on strike since last month convened in two major cities on Tuesday to discuss their grievances against the government. The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, which represents over 7,000 members, went on strike on March 15th to demand payment of their salary arrears and the immediate hiring of trainee doctors. The arrears arose from a 2017 collective bargaining agreement, the union said. Now, doctors are also demanding the provision of adequate medical insurance cover for themselves and their dependents. It also wants the government to address frequent delays of salaries and to start paying doctors who work in public hospitals as part of their higher degree courses. The Kenyan health sector, which doctors say is underfunded and understaffed, is routinely beset by strikes. Here is the full report, courtesy of Reuters.
Striking public hospital doctors in Kenya convened in two major cities on Tuesday to discuss their grievances against the government. Across the country, patients in various hospitals waited in vain, like Jane Akot, whose daughter was diagnosed with cancer last year. Her daughter was meant to have an operation on Tuesday, but was turned away from the hospital.
We were meant to see the doctor today because she cannot swallow any food. The doctor was supposed to perform a procedure on her so that she can be able to eat, but we got sent back and asked to come tomorrow at midday because there were no doctors available today. We shall try again tomorrow and see if we shall find any.
Striking public hospital doctors are demanding the payment of their salary arrears and the immediate hiring of trainee doctors. The Kenyan Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, which represents over 7,000 members, went on strike on March 15 and says the arrear arose from a 2017 collective bargaining agreement. The Kenyan health sector, which doctors say is underfunded and understaffed, is routinely beset by strikes. Health Minister Susan Nakumicha says the government cannot afford to hire trainee doctors because of financial pressures. Talks between the two sides aimed at ending the ongoing strike have so far been unsuccessful.
Taiwan's biggest earthquake in at least 25 years killed 9 people on Wednesday, injuring more than 900, while 50 hotel workers were missing en route to a national park, authorities said, as rescuers used ladders to bring others to safety. Television broadcast images of buildings tilted at precarious angles in the mountainous, sparsely populated eastern county of Hualien near the epicenter of the 7.2 magnitude quake. It was very strong. It felt as if the house was going to topple, said Chang Yulin, 60, a worker in a hospital in Taipei, the capital. Now, the quake hit at the depth of 15.5 kilometers just as people were headed for work and school, setting off a tsunami warning for southern Japan and the Philippines that was later lifted. Video showed rescuers using ladders to help trapped people out of the windows, while elsewhere there were massive landslides. Strong tremors in Taipei forced the subway system to close briefly, although most lines resumed service. Fire authorities said they had already evacuated some 70 people trapped in tunnels near Hualien City, but they had lost contact with 50 workers aboard 4 minibuses heading to a hotel in a national park, Tarako Gorge, they said, and rescuers were looking for them. Another 80 people are trapped in a mining area, though it was not immediately clear if they were inside a mine. The government put the number of injured at 946. At present, the most important thing is the top priority is to rescue people, said President-elect Lai Ching-te. Speaking outside one of the collapsed buildings in Hualien, the rail link to the area was expected to reopen on Thursday. Lai, who is set to take office next month, told reporters. Taiwan's Air Force said 6 F-16 fighter jets had been slightly damaged at a major base in the city from which jets are often scrambled to see off incursions by China's Air Force, but the aircraft are expected to return to service very soon. We'll now take a look at our weather predictions. Hendy's Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius, while Mariental and Keetmanshoop and Aranus can expect some showers. Rundu Enana, Oshakati, Ruakana, Hobabes, Windhoek, Omaruru and Oshwarongo, along with Tsumeb, can expect some showers. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius, while Oshakati can expect a minimum of 22 and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. After the break, we delve into the world of sports.
Connection. It's in the human touch. The feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunset News Sports section. This is Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, your host for today. The Namibia Football Association will not be retaining the services of the members of the Brave Warriors technical team with the exception of head coach Colin Benjamin. Namibian Sun understands that going forward, the head coach will only be allowed to appoint 2 people to the technical team. The rest of the appointments will be left to the NFA itself, which seeks to diversify the pool of the technical team beyond the perceived current recycled faces. And to the next story. Nedbank Namibia Newspaper Cup football champions Omusadi had much of their success due to the skill and determination of Kavarepura Jambeni, who was deservedly named goalkeeper of the tournament. Shambeni kept clean sheets in all the team's 5 matches, including the final against Kavango East, which ended goalless in regular and extra time. The 19-year-old then played another steering role in the penalty shootout, which Omusadi clinched 3-1 against Kavango East, who have now lost 3 of the last 5 finals. The Namibian Volleyball Federation NVF, with Bank Windhoek as primary sponsor, hosted the 40th anniversary of the Dog Tournament at the Dome in Swakopmund last weekend. The tournament celebrated volleyball excellence and community spirit, bringing together players, coaches and fans nationwide. The Dog Tournament featured 35 men's and women's teams competing, showcasing the talent and dedication that have been the hallmark of the Federation's success over the years. Players of all ages and skill levels participated, highlighting the inclusive and welcoming nature of this sport. That is all we had for you tonight. Enjoy the evening.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It's English Premier League, 5 games played on Tuesday, and it was 2 games that ended in a win and 3 in a draw. The games that ended in a win was Nottingham Forest that beat Fulham by 3-1, and Bournemouth they beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Then big games was played. Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham played to a 1-1 draw, and then Newcastle and Everton also 1-1 draw, and Burnley and Wolverhampton also the same score, 1-1. So it is significant in the race for the top 8, because at the moment it is West Ham on in 7th position on 45 league points, followed by Newcastle in 8th position on 44, and then Brighton and Wolverhampton on 42 each. So it's a very close 9 and 10 there, Brighton and Wolverhampton. That is the English Premier League. On to tennis news, and it is the Charleston Open that's being played, women's WTA tennis. It's being played on clay, and the number 1 seed from America, Jessica Pegula, a tough first round game for her. She beat Anna Anasnova by 3-6, 6-4 and 7-6. And then also number 3 seed, Maria Sakkari, she safely through, beating Victoria Tomova by 6-3 and 6-3. The winner of the previous week tournament, that was the Miami Open, that's Diane Collins. She had a good start on clay. Obviously the Miami Open was played on hard surface, and she beat Paula Badosa of Spain by 6-1 and 6-4. And then to close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news from the Indian Premier League. It's continuing. It's a tournament with lots of games. And the latest game, the Super Giants beat the Royal Challengers Bangalore by 28 runs. A good result there for the Super Giants. It is Quinton de Kock of South Africa that scored runs for the Super Giants. What happened in the game was the Super Giants 181 for the loss of 5 wickets. And Quinton de Kock scoring 81 runs from just 56 deliveries. The Royal Challengers Bangalore, they've got a great batting lineup. Opening pair is Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis, and then Glenn Maxwell of Australia also playing in that team. But it was Virat Kohli out for 22, Faf du Plessis out for 19, and Glenn Maxwell out for a duck. And they only scored 153 runs in response to the 181 for 5 of the Super Giants. So it is the Royal Challengers Bangalore, a difficult season for them so far. They're in 9th position out of the 10 teams, and they've also played 4 games. The Super Giants up to 4th position, and they've played 3 games so far. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
That was Jesse Jackson Karatha and Ari Hohad with the sports news. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Before we sign off, make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the energy platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, 1up2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.